All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 5-Minute Fix. I'm Ben Rader. Today, we're going to be talking about overcoming objections, a topic that spans all corners of sales from coast to coast and across the globe. Now, one of the best ways to overcome objections is to take as many of them as possible off the table early. Now, we oftentimes do that when we use a trial close. When you're building some rapport with your prospect and you're going through the benefits of what it is that you're selling, how your solution can solve their problem, and by asking them a question, something like, if I'm able to find a product that fits your needs and your budget, is there any reason you wouldn't want to get approved today? That type of easy trial close can certainly eliminate a lot of objections down the line because you've already gotten them in principle to agree to what you're offering. Now, it doesn't work all the time, but that's a first step. If you're not inserting a trial close in every presentation, you're probably losing sales because your prospect was simply not ready to commit. And when you're able to smoke that out early, then you're able to address what the issue might be. If they say, no, I don't want to get approved today, then you can dig a little bit deeper and you can figure out whether it's a trust issue, whether they simply don't like you, or whatever it may be, but it can either allow you to fix it and move on or allow you to cut bait. Because let's face it, you're never going to close everyone, and your time is best spent with those prospects that you have the highest chances of actually closing. Here's one easy solution, okay? My favorite question ever, those of you that know me, that have followed me for a dozen years, you know my favorite question is why. I call it a toddler question, and I always say, when in doubt, why it out. So asking the question why is like an all-purpose problem solver. If you don't know exactly where you're going, you don't know why you're stuck, if you're getting resistance, simply asking your prospect why will prompt them to provide you with some type of response that you can address. And you can use that response to move forward in a manner in which they are going to agree with you down the line. Again, nothing solves every problem. Nothing is going to close every client. But at the end of the day, if you're not asking a couple of key questions to overcome some objections, then you're going to leave a lot of money on the table and a lot of families unprotected. Now, here's the thing. Our top 3 objections that we typically get are the generic, I need to think about it. Also, the I'm not making any decisions today, or I need to consult with XYZ person. All valid objections, roadblocks, hurdles, stalls, call them whatever you want. At the end of the day, what they do is they take the focus from your product and service and the problem that you're solving, and they put it on some nonsense pedestal, something that you can't touch, something that they think that you're never going to be able to work around. Fun part is, you absolutely can. First things first, understand that I need to think about it is just a high-level price objection. At the end of the day, if what you were offering them were $1 a month, there would be nothing to think about. Now, you can say something like that to your prospect, but that's a little bit antagonistic, and we typically don't like to antagonize our prospects because it rarely results in a sale. You want to make sure the entire time that you are remaining on their team, that you are appearing that you and them are one team, and that you are trying to find the best possible fit with that big, nasty, mean insurance company. So when you start antagonizing them, in their mind, you are now moving to the side of the insurance company, not the side of them, and it's very tough to jump back over that moat. Now, if they need to think about it, my number one workaround to that is make a drastic change in price. Understanding that if you're showing something that's $80 a month or $200 a month, show them something that's $40 a month or $50 a month. Make a drastic change, and when you present that option to them, ask them if this option makes it easier for them to not have to think about it. And typically, when you phrase it like that, you'll get right to the heart of the problem. When I provide a more affordable option, while it may have less perceived value because it's a lower death benefit, and I ask, Jane, does that eliminate the need for you to think about it when we're looking at $42 a month for the $5,000 option, you're going to get a very clear response as to how that factors in for them. Now, when they come and they say, well, I need to talk with XYZ person about this, I say, that's fabulous. I highly encourage that. Now, just one quick question, James. Your son, your daughter, your cousin, your sister, whoever it may be, this external third party, not a spouse, right? This external third party that you need to talk about, what would they typically say about you protecting your family? Would they be in favor of that? So what I want you to do now is I want you to paint the picture of this third party who, let's face it, they're probably never going to consult about insurance. It's just a tactic for them to not buy. If we paint that person, if we create them as someone that is supportive of them protecting their family and them not saddling their children with debt, then the only option for them is to say, well, yes, of course they would want me to protect my family. I say, okay, good, because if they said that they didn't want you to protect your family, you should probably not be the one consulting them about important decisions, such as making sure that you're protecting what matters most, right? So those types of comments, when someone says, I need to consult with XYZ, and you immediately agree with them and say, I think that's incredibly important, but just to make sure they are also wanting you to protect your family. They're not wanting you to stick your kids or your friends with debt when you die, right? Because that would be weird if they say, yeah, you should just do that. So when you establish that, it immediately brings it back to you and your prospect and eliminates that third party from the equation, because it's awkward for them to say anything other than, yes, that person would want me to protect my family. Now, when someone says, hey, I've already got insurance, I've got it taken care of, I don't need this, I say, perfect. That makes my job so much easier. I'm so glad you've already got insurance, you've already got it taken care of. Just so you know, about 80% of my clients, they also have already taken care of. Now, my question to you is, do you have the new plan or the old plan? Let them answer it. They don't even know how to answer it. But the point is that when you get granular on policy info, who is that company? What are you paying? What's a premium amount? If you're doing a face-to-face appointment, let's take a look at this policy. Let's look at it. Let's see if it's actually what you think it is. If you don't have a policy, then let's call the company and get the information. And if you've got the new plan, if you've got something good, I'm going to let you know, and then you'll never have to worry about it again. But if you don't have the new plan, if you don't have something good, if you have something that goes up in price or ends at age 80, we're going to figure that out right now, and I'm going to show you an option that's going to protect your family forever. Does that make sense? And when you put it in a way for all three of these objections, when you put it in context that you are simply on their side trying to help them and that you're going to work hard to do so, and sometimes it does not result in a sale, but when you are placing yourself in their corner, you're going to get more sales, more referrals, more policies in every home. You're going to get the cross-sell into annuities and critical illness and all that other stuff that we all want to maximize the lifetime value of each client. And when you simply work with them, overcoming these hurdles, knowing exactly what they are and exactly what they mean, you'll help more families and make more money for yourself. I hope that made sense, and thanks so much for joining me on this episode of the 5 Minute Fix.